The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien coming to you live from TFNN, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday morning. We got about 25 minutes to go until the opening bell, and markets picking up right where we left off last night. A little bit of negative action. We get the S&Ps down 7 points right now at 41.19. We got the NASDAQ 100 down 48 points at 13,746. You're going to have Netflix down about 9%, weighing on the tech stocks at the open this morning. The Dow off 43 points, 33,659. The Russell negative by 2 at 2182. Jumping around to commodities, crude pulling back down $1.70. We'll put crude on a 15-minute. You see the acceleration we had yesterday from 64.38 down to 61.50. Right now, we just eclipsed $61. We're trading at 60.95 in crude. Gold catching a bid, up $8 at 17.87. Gold looking to accelerate to the high we had on Monday, 17.90.40. We got silver up 28 cents at 26.12. Bitcoin down $1,100, 55,585 currently, but well off the lows we had at 53,000 early yesterday. The high 65,000 back last Wednesday when Coinbase went public. Jumping around to notes and bonds. The 10-year flat right now, 132.18. We're looking at a yield in that 10-year of 1.56%, and the 30-year flat as well at 158.06. Over in Europe right now, you get the DAX negative 0.2%, pretty calm action. The FTSE up about 0.1% over in Asia, showing Nikkei down about 2%. Is that, yeah, I guess that's the Nikkei down about 2% over in Asia. All right, let's jump over to Netflix. Netflix, some pretty tough numbers last night in the market reacting. From $5.50, you dropped $70 right out of the gate last night on the headline numbers. We're back up a bit. You're still going to open down about $45, pushing 9% or so thereabouts. On Netflix shares, interesting. You put Netflix on a daily here. You've been chopping around for a while. This is going to bring us back. I mean, look where it accelerated to. 480, right? We're going to open about 500. The first move was 480, though, right at the lower boundary line of that consolidation. Looks to be an area of support. I mean, you got to go all the way back to July of last year, folks. We've bounced four times at that level. July, August, also in September. And then we got a bounce in late October / the run really beginning in the markets with the efficacy of the shots. And even with a stock like Netflix, when this market really accelerated from November on, you had Netflix accelerating from the bottom of that consolidation. Last earnings, they delivered, but we give it all back to 500. We get to 550. Guess what? We're going to open right back at 500 this morning on Netflix shares. Getting into Netflix numbers. Let's pull them up. We got a lot of tabs here. Where are we? There we go. Netflix drags down the futures. I'm pretty sure I got them up here as well. Well, this will be a way to find it. Where are their numbers? There we go. So they only had 3.8 million is going to be the number in terms of subscribers. 3.98 million. There you go. Global paid net subscriber additions was only under 4 million. They were looking for 6.2 million. The real worrying is that they only expect to add 1 million subscribers in the current quarter. That also a big miss as well. You see where we were in terms of 2020 coming into 2021. Some of that growth waning. Now they said that they do not think that the miss they had has to do with competitors like Disney, Hulu, AT&T, Apple, Prime, NBC's Peacock. Then, man, you got Paramount Plus out there. You got Discovery Plus, right? The number of streaming platforms is growing in pretty dramatic fashion. Netflix, not quite where they thought they would be in terms of the growth numbers they'll be looking for. Now, still, the company's revenue grew 24% year over year. Remarkable when you talk about the size of the company that Netflix is. Delivered a strong beat on earnings compared to the street estimates. But, man, the street does not care about earnings if you're not keeping up with the amount of subscribers you're supposed to have. But here's the big one here as well, to the upside. Now, this without this, who knows what would happen? How about a $5 billion buyback program? Talk about not needing loans anymore, not needing to go to the market for capital. Netflix, they're giving back $5 billion in terms of a repurchase program beginning in 2021 and no fixed expiration date. That's expected to begin the quarter, the company said. The key is the business remains healthy, quote unquote. That's their CFO talking. Nonetheless, Netflix, not the subscriber numbers that they thought they were going to get. You got Netflix. And again, really interesting when you look at this consolidation area in terms of if you're looking for possible areas of support and resistance. You saw it last night. We spiked down to 480, and now we're sitting at 500. Now, 500 has been the support from March, also been the support in Netflix from early that month, and that's where we bounced in the beginning of the year in January as well, at about that 500 price point. Nice round number, as our man Basil Chapman would say. Checking around some of the other streaming companies. Disney, one of the ones I always look at. Let's just take some of these off so we can really see the stock and what we're doing. Now, I've been talking about an ABC formation in Disney. We're at a critical level here. 183.40 is the B point, backing it up to basically the end of 2020. Disney, not really reacting in a big way. These are their own animals here. I mean, interesting, right? You get a huge miss for subscribers on Netflix, and Disney pulls back a bit. You see the negative action last night. You're down a bit with the market this morning, but the market is not figuring that that is going to translate to Disney missing in monumental fashion. Otherwise, you'd see it on the chart. Now, Disney's pulled back from 190 to 182 this week. I sent out a video to my subscribers this morning. If you'd like to sign up for Rocket Equities and Options, you can on the front page of TFNN. And just talked about many things in there, all of our equities and so forth, an update, about a 10-minute video for subscribers. If you're a subscriber out there, I encourage you to check it out and give it a watch this morning. Critical area for Disney, though, when you look, and that's not rocket science, folks. This area, 183.40, we've bounced off it on 3 different occasions, whether we had the bounce in February, bounce in early March, and also we chopped around that level basically since March 25th. You really look at where we could go. One of the Fibonacci areas, if you back this thing all the way up, I said maybe 170 is the next possible level, and I would even think about adding to a position in Disney at 170, folks, if you get back down to that level. Once the parks really begin to open back up, once movie theaters really begin to open back up and they do not weigh on this stock as they are right now. I mean, you're barely having California. Not even sure if Disneyland's open yet or if that's April 30th. They've been shut down for like 14 months going on. Nonetheless, Florida parks not even close to at capacity, and movie theaters not even close to at capacity. It's a far cry when you look at Disney. I mean, Disney did, just for context here, you back things up to 2019. Here's your chart in 2019, all right? You had Disney chopping around at 120 to 140. You really begin to accelerate in April of 2019. So, Mark, we're going back 2 years ago, okay? I'm just going to take these off so that you can see this chart real quickly, because it's critical to remember the context of what we're dealing with in Disney. We're going back to an area, April of 2019, so 2 years ago, the world did not even know what Disney Plus was going to consist of. They didn't know the price of Disney Plus. They didn't know if they were going to go maybe an HBO route for a premium product of $17 a month or something. No, they came to market with a product that undercut the price of Netflix. All right, you chopped around. Also this year, though, to tie it back, Disney did, I think it was $10 billion plus in gross office. They had 10 different films that all grossed $1 billion. 10 different films. They were basically putting out $1 billion blockbuster every single month for the entire year. Once that type of action gets priced into this equity, and then you add the fact that they're looking for 300 to 350 million subscribers in the future, I imagine 170 to 180 will be some value area in this stock as it looks to trade higher. 226 would be the next projection, A to B, C to D on Disney. All right, folks, we got S&Ps minus by 8. Stay tuned. We'll come back, look at some of the other equities. We'll take a look at some of the other streaming stocks as well. We'll look at Discovery. We'll look at Viacom. Stay tuned. We'll be right back, folks.
Golden ratios give shape to everything in our world, represented in a Fibonacci sequence. These special numbers define the patterns that make up our universe. Not even markets can escape the omnipotence of these ratios. Larry Pesavento is a 45-year market veteran who has published nearly a dozen books on the powerful patterns we find in nature and their relationships with the ever-elusive markets. Larry's newsletter, Fibonacci 24/7, will teach you to harness the power of these natural golden ratios in order to create successful trades. Fibonacci 24/7 is designed to teach the tools you need to identify and act on these undeniable and reoccurring patterns. Sign up for Larry's newsletter, Fibonacci 24/7, and you will also receive free access to his trading webinar, Trading Strong Trending Markets. Try out Larry's newsletter risk-free. All of TFNN's newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps -7 right now. Tech stocks slightly in the red with the NASDAQ 100 off 48 points and the Dow negative by 37 right now. S&Ps, all things considered, 41.19. We got earnings season going on. Let's jump over to our man, Kevin Hinks. Folks, every trading day, 11 a.m. Eastern time till noon. Fast market on the TD Ameritrade Network. It's the most wonderful time of the year as we talk about. We got some big action at Netflix, of course, last night. We have earnings this night. Tonight, we got Chipotle. We got all the big tech stocks reporting next week. Kevin Hinks, good morning.
Good morning, Tommy O'Brien. Yep, Netflix shouldn't really have surprised people that some of their numbers came down off those levels that they had. So Netflix, though, the interesting about Netflix this morning is that if you're a chartist and if you're someone who looks at technical analysis, this stock is going to open up through its 50-day moving average and through its 200-day moving average. The 200-day moving average, I think, is a key level for the end of the day. That's about $514. We'll see if that can hold at or near that level. So pretty interesting price action to start the day on Netflix, but shouldn't surprise anyone that the numbers came down slightly off those pandemic highs.
Yeah, and they come out with a $5 billion stock repurchase program. I remember the days when Netflix was going to market, needing capital for their content. Not the case anymore, man, with the amount of subscribers that they have. Remarkable. They can do that type of program right now when you think about the amount of money that they spend on the content that they produce. And even technically, I got it up here on a 3-year weekly. It's been shopping around between about 480 and maybe the higher end was 570. But interesting, that first spike down last night, Kevin, was about 480, which is a lower boundary, and then 500. It's been an area. I mean, talk about a round number. We got a bid ask about 506 to 507 right now on Netflix. What are we going to be talking about today of all the things we got going on this week with earnings, Kevin?
Another day, another big group of earnings. We've got three really good ones. Lam Research will be the first stock that we talk about. Then, like Folio, we'll do a presentation on Chipotle, of course. And then AT&T is our last name today. So there's other good earnings coming out. We're getting some airlines. Will come out tomorrow morning, American and Southwest. Spirit Airlines today after the bell. D.R. Horton, our first look at the home builders, will come out tomorrow morning. So, the pace of earnings starting to pick up here as we get ready for next week, which is the mother of all earnings weeks, Tommy.
It is pretty cool, man. I mean, we got some big companies, of course, this week. It almost seems like all the biggest companies in the world are next week. I think the market capitalization of those companies combined, something like $18 trillion. Not hard when you get a company like Apple, of course, $2 trillion by itself. Amazon, Google, the likes of it. And we're getting a little bit of a rise in the VIX, Kevin, the last couple days, as we've had this market creeping lower. The VIX, last week we were flirting with 15s and 16s. We're back to 1904 right now. The historical average about 16. But interesting, where does the worry really begin in this market? As in, I have to almost give it context when I say the market's down. We've had a little bit of a pullback to the tune of about 60 points in the S&P now. But, man, you put this thing on a daily, Kevin, and we are basically sitting right near all-time highs at 4,100 in the S&P. But we got a VIX that's creeping towards 20. Are you watching that? Where does this get a little bit interesting for you, where the negative action in the VIX side of things?
Sure, we're always watching that, of course, as the VIX has started to get a little heartbeat, still below 20, but it's got a small heartbeat, sitting here about 1904 to start the day, but, a 2-day sell-off, really spurred by probably some weakness in Bitcoin and some of the cryptocurrencies that's throwing a little hesitation into some of these markets. I don't think, at least for right now, I don't think it's anything to panic about. I think Apple's investor day had a little weakness there. So all things considered, I think this market still looks fairly healthy. Just 2 trading days down off a pretty nice run it's had. So wouldn't surprise me if it consolidated slightly here, but earnings could change that for the good or for the bad. And, with earnings expectations overall to be up 30% year over year, I think buckle up, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw on Netflix, man. I mean, they beat with some strong numbers, but all the market's looking at is those subscriber numbers in a big way, some lofty, and we saw it. They pulled those subscribers forward last year. They're talking about it. It's not even the competition, right? It's just the fact that, man, they accelerated their growth over the last year, a little bit difficult last quarter, and this quarter they're only looking at like 1 million subscriber ads, which was a miss as well, and I'm sure those tech stocks are going to have some lofty valuation expectations when they come into their numbers next week as well. Kevin, we appreciate the update, man. We look forward to the conversation in the program coming up at 11 o'clock, talking earnings, man.
Always a pleasure, Tommy. Have a great day.
My pleasure, too, Kevin. Take care. Folks, tune in every trading day, 11 o'clock. You heard what they're going to be talking about, and I'm sure they're going to be talking about plenty coming into next week as well. This is literally one of the best times, folks, to learn what's going on. You're getting some of the biggest tech stocks, some of the most actively traded equities in the market reporting their earnings next week. And like you talked about, we get some big companies this week. We got Chipotle after the bell today. We got Spirit. Las Vegas Sands is after the bell as well. Tomorrow, we got D.R. Horton, Blackstone, AT&T, American Airlines, Biogen, Southwest, all before the market open. Tomorrow after the close, we got a good old Boston company, Boston Beer Company, Sam Adams. Sam is their symbol. Snapchat and Intel. And then Friday before the market, Schlumberger, American Express, Honeywell, just to name a few. And then, as we mentioned, next week, it really goes bonanza. I'm going to have to get a calendar and mark them all down, but it's basically all the big tech stocks out here. You jump over to the Analyze tab, folks, on the Thinkorswim platform. You jump over to the Earnings tab. So we got Amazon. That's a week from tomorrow. So next Thursday, they're reporting numbers. We got Microsoft shares next Tuesday, correct? Yes, next Tuesday we got Microsoft. We got Apple on Wednesday, Google on Tuesday, Facebook on Wednesday. It's a nonstop plethora. Tuesday through Thursday next week. Some big action there. And as they walk through those trades, folks, it's the best way to learn. They're setting up multi-leg trades. They're talking about risk reward. They're talking about trade management. They're talking about volatility, right? They're talking about implied moves. Just to take a glimpse. So today after the bell, we got Chipotle coming out with their numbers. Chipotle Mexican Grill. $63 move. Now, this is a $1,500 stock price. We were up to almost $1,400 as of September. We're still in a rising channel. You put this thing on a 3-year weekly, we were down to almost $400. Remarkable at the lows of COVID. Where were we? We were at a low of $415. Nonetheless, you really back things up to get a full context of the run we had during when they had the outbreak going on. You're up to 756. This stock traded down to 200 and change, folks. And man, quite a move. We trade down to almost 400 on the lows, which are sitting at 1532. So as I mentioned, they're talking about a $63 implied move. That's about a 4% move for Chipotle coming into their numbers after the bell tonight. Let's look at Spirit Airlines. SAVE is their symbol. Okay, we don't have an expected move on them just yet. And Las Vegas Sands, let's see what we're dealing with there. LVS, yeah, about a 5 to 6% move on Las Vegas Sands. You take a look at that chart. We'll put it on a 3-year weekly. Let's put it back. 5-year daily. We'll get the full COVID. So we're trading at $70 for Las Vegas Sands, down to 33. Right now you're trading at 59.04. But as I mentioned, I love those one-day expected moves for earnings, folks. $3.38. If you're buying or selling premium, you better know what type of a move that market's pricing in that you're paying for or you're collecting. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back on the Market Open.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den trading room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We got markets open in negative territory. S&P's minus 5 points on the open. We got the tech stocks slightly in the red. NASDAQ 100 off 40, Dow off 16. Let's see how Netflix is rocking on the open this morning. Catching a little bit of a bid. Right now, you're trading at 509. Make that 510. Still down about 7% right now, but you're about $30 off the flash low we got last night. In the Netflix shares, jumping around to some of those other streaming companies. As we mentioned, you got Disney down about 0.9%, 181.12. We'll jump to some of the others that have been in the press. Discovery, continuing a little bit of a decline with the market, down about 1.2%. I've talked about it before. If you're looking for an entry in a long-term position, folks, because I've said it, you don't step in with a full position. You don't even step in here. But a partial position when you've traded from 78 to 35, granted, this run-up was not real. I think that's been evidence now. But you're talking about, when you jump over in terms of fundamentally, Discovery, you're talking about a company that's valued at $17 billion. And Viacom, the two that come to mind for streaming that were part of the Archegos blow-up saga, you got Viacom valued at $23 billion. The two of those companies combined, Viacom and Discovery, you're talking about $40 billion. I imagine those two companies are going to be worth more than that on a long-term basis. They've both done a tremendous job in terms of whether it's Paramount Plus, CBS. They're going to be, CBS just became a part of the deal with NFL football. They're going to be offering football as a part of their streaming package. Discovery has done a phenomenal job of signing people up for their streaming service that even have access to the Discovery lineup of channels, whether it's, I think it's TLC, right, the Food Network, is it Lifetime in there? I'm not sure. They got a lot of channels. They're able to sign people up even with access to cable because they're creating programs that they only start releasing on their streaming service. I mean, remarkable that you have a company that has a channel that is watched by many channels, and then they figure out how to get people to sign up for their streaming service that already watch their channel, that are paying for it through their cable service. But that's what they're doing. So both of these companies continue to slide, though. With that in mind, continue to slide. At some point, there'll be a bottom. I don't know if it's going to be today, but both strong equities on the streaming platform in a big way. Yeah. And we'll jump to CMCSA, Comcast, the other one here that's been a big riser. Now, they were not involved in Archegos at all, which is why there's no pullback whatsoever. You're sitting at 54. No real pullback. This looks to be like a Netflix deal on its own right here. Netflix, they sucked a lot of growth ahead of themselves, as in 2020, you came into 20 at about 380. If you put things in context, we're still up at 500. You're up almost 30% from where we were prior to COVID, trading at 509 right now on Netflix shares. All right, what else we got going on? Weekly mortgage demand jumps 8.6% after interest rates fall to a 2-month low. So we get a little bit of a pullback in interest rates, and we got weekly mortgage demand jumping 8.6%. Last week was the first overall increase since the end of February. Applications to refinance a loan jumped 10% for the week, but still 23% lower a year ago, the MBA said. All right, let's jump around to some of the stocks. So we got Verizon out with their numbers. They beat on earnings, they beat on revenue, but they lost a little bit more subscribers than the market was looking for. Pretty muted reaction pre-market in Verizon, and right now we're slightly in the positive. Verizon up about 0.1%, trading at 58.45 on their numbers. Let's see. Halliburton, they're positive this morning after they report 2 cents. They beat by quarterly profit of 19 cents a share. Revenue beats as well. Oil field services company saying its North American business continues to stage a healthy recovery. You better be recovering when you got oil basically sitting between $60 and $65. Halliburton shares, though, not hanging on to that gain. We're down 3.3% to 1916. You put this thing on a 3-year weekly for some context. And yeah, quite a rise from the depths of the low of oil at $4.25. But man, we've now pulled back from about $25 to $19.20 in the price of Halliburton on their numbers. Talked about Netflix. Moderna, so they're up a little bit this morning. We'll check out them. They got a new supply deal with Israel for 2022. Israel got an option to buy doses of vaccine designed to treat specific variants of the virus. mRNA, that's the weekly. We'll put it on. We're up about 3.5% today, 162. This thing's really had a run since you've had some problems with the J&J shot. Now, J&J, in their own right, quite an acceleration yesterday, as I believe it was that they're going to be used in Europe. Is that the deal? What was the headline here? I got it up. Yes, resume EU vaccine shipments after a review of the clot risk, basically saying that the benefits far outweigh the risks in for this vaccine. And what they do is they talk about that they're basically going to try and educate doctors as well and patients to look out for that rare blood clot that seems to be occurring in women from 18 to 24 on the Johnson & Johnson shot. Other stocks continuing. Norwegian Crude Lines, they're up. They got a little bit of an upgrade from Goldman. Really interesting to see how some of these stocks. Let's jump around to some of them. I think we got earnings on Was it United this morning as well? No, they were out yesterday with their numbers. United is American. Nonetheless, all the airlines, quite a pullback from 26 to 20 on American. United, you just pulled back from 63 to under 50. Delta Airlines from 52 to 44. Delta looks to be the strongest across the board. Now you pull up the cruise lines as well from 35. You're catching a little bit of a bid, but we were down at about 26 on Norwegian. Carnival from about $30 down to about 26. As they're not out of the woods yet. We're seeing it. These are some of the more volatile stocks when you talk about the reopening of things, but they have some volatility. Uber had quite a pullback yesterday as well. We're just in the middle of this consolidation area for Uber, though, at 55.40. That consolidation basically from about 50 to $60 on Uber shares. Let's see how Disney's trading this morning. Down a bit, down about 1.1% with the market to 180.66. Some of the consumer staples, we have some action going in McDonald's and in Walmart in my newsletter. McDonald's shares basically flat this morning at 233.16. This thing's sitting right near all-time highs, and it looks to trade even higher. We get a possible A to B, C to D. You're talking about from 178 to 231. That's approximately $52, $53. That puts us at 253 and change. There you go. What is it? Let's see. I got it all up here. 255.76. And we crossed that B point. You put it on a weekly for some analysis on McDonald's. We really crossed that B point. You look at where the B point is on a weekly on McDonald's. Now, what's great is McDonald's. That's a dividend stock as well. I think you're pushing something like 2%, that or thereabouts. And you're talking about a B point with about 10.7 million shares. And we really accelerated above that with almost 14 million shares the week of April 5th. We stay above that area last week, making all-time highs. We're sitting at 223.27. Walmart, a little bit of a different story. No A to B, C to D there quite yet. I mean, you could have a big one here. You really could, going from about 100 to 150. That would be a 50-point A to B, C to D. We'll see how this thing trades, though. You know, we have no idea how it's going to accelerate if this is a B point here at 153. But the area we're coming into to put Walmart on a daily, we're climbing into this gap that we had from their last earnings in February. We've now reclaimed basically up to that area, and we're pushing into that gap at 141. Walmart, one of the stocks positive right now, up 0.3%. We have the Dow climbing. The Dow positive, the only index up 17, make it 20 points right now. We'll put the Dow on a 15-minute. The Dow catching a bid from 33,650. We're up at 33,724. The Russell just negative by 1. The volatility there. Crude, a little bit of volatility, back above $61. And how about gold catching a bid? Gold looking to push the highs of Monday at $17.90. Stay tuned, folks. We're going to be coming back with Teddy Kegstad of Forex Trading Unlocked. We're going to be talking Forex in this market. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. We got the market slightly in the red right now. Let's jump over to our man, Teddy Kegstad. Folks, every trading day, forex-trading-unlock.com. If you're into the Forex market, I encourage you to check out Teddy's work at his website. We talk to Teddy every Wednesday at 40 past the hour talking Forex. Teddy Kegstad, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing great, man. Surviving the work week through Wednesday. We got a little negative action in the markets for a change this week. And we got some currency action as well. Where do you want to kick off in this market, man?
Well, I don't think we need to talk about the crypto volatility because that's showing with all that volatility that it doesn't wag the dog wags it. So we're not going to even dwell on that. Although there was a little surge from that sell-off that did help the pound and the euro and even the dollar because, you know, as people liquidate Bitcoins, they're converting it to some other currency. But let's talk about the main factors here. We've been talking about the 30-year note. Are very static right now, really not influencing the market. We have oil that kind of looks like it wants to maybe flirt with a little sell-off that could have a very, very good implications as far as certain currencies. We'll see how that goes. And then we have the gold market that's flirting with a nice little breakout rally. So the question is, are we going to get follow-through or do we have a bull trap building up in the U.S. dollar? Because everyone is so bearish the dollar right now that I think we're starting, and we do have some signals. So let me give you the buy signals right now and the sell signals that we have.
Okay.
So the U.S. dollar Swiss we know has been breaking for the past couple months, right? It's in a little bit of a free fall. Well, yesterday, the U.S. dollar Swiss gave us a short-term Harami buy signal. If it settles positive today, that means it's a double signal. It'll be a 3 inside up buy signal, which sets that market up for a nice corrective move to the upside. Now, remember, that market, except for the past few weeks, has been in a rally this year. So this, where we're at right now, it's a corrective break that might be bottoming right now. That's a very significant thing right there, especially if it gets followed through over the next couple sessions. But we need confirmation of a positive close today. Key off of the recent low. Should we get a positive close today, that's going to be your base of support. The British pound US dollar also gave the same type of signal yesterday. It was a Harami sell signal. The British pound overall has been a bull for over a year. It's been correcting for the past few months, trying to basically go sideways over the past couple of weeks. If we get a negative close today, odds are very likely that the pound US dollar will continue to set a free fall, especially if oil starts to slide even more than it already is right now. Okay. And then we have the euro US dollar, which has a very weak sell signal forming right now. I would key off of the high from yesterday as your level for resistance. If you're a bear, anything above there, you're on the wrong side. It's a good selling level right now, you know. So I think that's really where those majors are falling into. And one of the reasons where I think we're starting to see this bull trap form with the U.S. dollar is that should oil really start to not really sell off, but just continue to hit support, and even if it gets below 60, and if gold continues to flirt with higher levels with the neutral interest rates, that's kind of bullish the dollar in the short run. Okay, so now when you look at like the U.S. dollar Canada, which has just been beating up the dollar for over a year, for a while it looked like it was just snaking and trying to set a base and flirting with another break, but now it's flirting with an upside correction breakout. So I would key off of, for the U.S. dollar Canada, if we get a breach of 126.47, there's a good chance that the market will go up to 127.70. Now, these are key things that should we get to these developments and these signals, if they come to fruition over today and start to set these leads over the next couple days, we may see a very strong bounce in the U.S. dollar, especially with the stock market flirting with the possible correction right now in the S&Ps, because there is a gap to be filled from the beginning of the month.
Nice, yeah, and you look in the last, not the last one, but taking a look, even always interesting when you look at gold. Of course, we've gotten a little bit, and then the yen, as in we've had quite a pullback in that yen, man, going back basically the month of April from 111, and we're back to 108 just that quick. But like you talk about the trend for the year, we've gone from 102 to 110, and we're back to 108. Where you look at the dollar yen?
Dollar yen. Well, here's the way I look at the dollar yen. You're kind of coming in and out, but I gotcha. The downside target for the yen I have right now is about 107.5. Okay. I'd be very careful of a snapback rally. I think that the U.S. dollar yen, because gold prices are going up, oil is neutral to lower, and interest rates are flat, that's why you're getting this sell-off that's stretching in the yen. If we see a bounce in a reversal of these other markets, especially if the interest rates start to tank and oil starts to go up again, then I think you're going to see the U.S. dollar yen snap back and make all new highs again. So I'd be very cautious selling the yen at these levels. I'd look more for a buy signal than a sell signal, especially since we have a signal in the Swiss. Usually one leads the other, and those are both flight to quality currencies. So if the Swiss really starts a rally, it's going to be hard to be selling the yen at the same time, or buying the yen, meaning selling the U.S. dollar yen.
No, that's great, man. That makes a lot of sense, tying those two together for sure. We'll see. That's quite a pullback in the yen, but it's not quite a pullback, like you say, when you look at the trend that we've been in basically since January, 102 to 111. Quite a move, and things have gotten a little dicey over the last couple weeks in some of those currencies off of their trends. So, what's the weather like in Chicago, man? We got any golf on the agenda this week?
No, not today. It's going to be only like a high of like 42 degrees today and possible rain this afternoon. So everything is turning green, but the temperature is going back to normal April temperatures. We were lucky with a couple hot days here and there.
That's spring in those cities, man. Boston has some of that. You get some heat, you get some cold. Well, we're almost in May. Hopefully you're out of the 40s.
Well, you guys had snow for the Red Sox White Sox game the other day.
I saw, man. They had snow delays at the beginning of baseball season, even to kick things off. Well, Teddy, we appreciate the Forex update as always, man. We look forward to the update next week, and you have yourself a great week, man.
All right, we'll see how these signals shape up. See you next week. Thanks, guys.
Awesome, man. Thanks, Teddy. Take care. Folks, every trading day you can reach Teddy, Forex-trading-unlock.com. We talk to Teddy for our Forex update on the weekly every Wednesday at 40 past the hour. All right, checking back to some of the markets here. We'll pull up the charts. Excuse me, 1 second. There's our futures, and just like that, folks, give it some time. We get the S&Ps catching a bid. Look at that acceleration from 41.20 to 41.31. We're back in the positive by 5 points. Tech stock slightly in the red, but the Dow really accelerating. We're up to 33,800. We were coming into the market about 33,645, and as this market charges higher, the VIX giving it back just that quick. We're at 1856, barely positive on the session right now. You back things up. That basically just correlates to the high we had on Monday's action in the VIX at 1856. Let's jump around to some of those tech stocks and see how they're reacting. Amazon shares slightly in the red today. I got a cool article we're going to talk about when we get back with Amazon because the future is moving very quickly, folks. Amazon, owned by the richest man in the world out there. They are the owner of Whole Foods. And really interesting when you look at some of this technology and how Amazon's shaken out. How about Amazon using your palm for a payment system to Whole Foods? It's not going to be long, folks, until you just walk in the store, wave to everybody. They take your payment, and you walk out of that store. We'll talk about that a little bit when we get back in terms of technology. But Amazon shares catching a little bit of bid on the open from about 3,300 to 3,327. Apple shares right now negative slightly by 0.6%. We get the S&Ps, though. It's not stopping. We're above the pre-market highs right now at 41.32. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back to finish up the program.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave. Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps positive by 6 points right now. We got Amazon slightly in the red. So pretty cool when you look at where they're going with this. So they're expanding its palm scanning payment system to a Whole Foods store in Seattle. They announced on Wednesday the first of many planned rollouts at other locations. So they were already using this in a dozen Amazon physical stores. They're now rolling it out to a Whole Foods in Seattle, at the Capitol Hill neighborhood, not far from their headquarters, and they're going to launch it at 7 Seattle area Whole Foods in coming months. Remarkable that Amazon, 4 years ago, they bought Whole Foods for $13 billion. That seems like nothing to pay for that company when you think about how they're going to incorporate it to their food delivery business. Amazon valued at $1.7 trillion. 13 billion, merely a decimal point with a zero in front of it in their market capitalization. Strong numbers there, and just remarkable that technology and how it's going to shift. They already have basically their cashless stores, and this is just going to accelerate all of that in terms of paying with your food print. The first time that you show up and use a kiosk, you just insert a credit card, insert your palm, and just like that, of course, there's going to be resistance to this with everybody's palm being held by Amazon. Be interesting to see how that shakes out in a big way. All right, what else we got going on in terms of what we're going to talk about? Let's see. Some of the speculative stocks. Take a look at this. This is my segue to cannabis because, man, some of these sectors, the speculative ones, really pulled back. Talking about the cannabis sector, Canopy, strong equity, but talk about some strong pullbacks. We're now back to basically where we were prior to the January Senate elections, and we're pushing an area. Now, we're up 1.4% today. Maybe we're getting a bounce. This is another one, folks. If you want to scale in for a longer-term position, you could begin to dabble at 25. This thing makes it down to $20. That's the area I'm really looking at. That's really when you begin to accelerate into the November elections on the idea of potential legislation going through the presidency and the Congress. I mean, just a couple days ago, we got the Banking Act passes the House 300 to 100. We're back at some critical areas on some of these cannabis stocks, all of them pulling back pretty harshly yesterday. But this morning, maybe a small bounce, up 1.2%. And man, this S&P, it just don't stop, folks. S&P now up 8 points, 31.34, as we accelerate into yesterday's pullback. Stay tuned, folks. We got a man, Basil Chapman, coming up next. Live programming all day at TFNN. Have a great Wednesday, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.